This week, Palm Springs Mayor Geoff Kors will deliver the annual State of the City address. And as you'd expect, this year is certainly unlike any other. I spoke with him today about the challenges facing the city and what to expect for 2021. Geoff, it's great to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
Happy to be on, Peter. Thank you.
You're going to remain on Palm Springs City Council, but this week will be your last State of the City address as mayor. Your thoughts and what can we expect to hear?
Sure. So the State of the City will be Thursday at 11. Looking forward to it. Early on this year, really looked at changing up the State of the City from how we'd done it in the past, and including the entire council in it and some key staff. Never assumed we'd be virtual, however, but we've really put together a shorter, tight State of the City. All 5 council members will be participating. We'll also hear from the fire chief, the police chief, and the city manager. And I'm looking forward to it. We're going to really address what's happened over the last year. And so many positive things have happened, even with the pandemic. And we really want to highlight that. All the new flights at the airport, which have been incredible. The early steps we took on COVID that really helped our city and our residents and our businesses, and all that we've done on that. The crime data, which has gone down over the last year in almost every category. So there's a lot of really good news to share. And of course, all the important things we need people to continue to do so we can get through the pandemic in as healthy and economically viable a way as possible.
Looking back on your time as mayor, Geoff, what do you consider some of your greatest accomplishments?
As the year started, I had some plans on some new things I wanted to move forward, some new initiatives, and COVID put those on hold. So as I look back on the year, it really is COVID. It's taken an enormous amount of time and impact on every one of our residents, every one of our businesses, all of our employees. And when I look back, I really am proud of our city for quickly going into an early lockdown when we were a hotspot, even before the state went into the lockdown. We acted faster because we saw the numbers going up among our residents, and we didn't want to see that continue. A single death is too many, and we're over 60 at this point. But we were a hotspot in the state and in the country early on. So I'm really proud of the work we did on that. We created, the mayor's reopening task force and brought all of our community business leaders and nonprofit leaders together, along with Mayor Pro Tem Christy Holstead, to really brainstorm and work on ways we can be creative, like all the parklets we have downtown. Anything we could do to help our economy keep going while keeping people safe. So that to me is the highlight. Working on the budget, right? We did drastic reductions. We did a conservative budget, and we acted early so the pain would be a lot less. And that's been very successful. And now that we see some more money coming in, we've been able to add 7 additional fire paramedics. We've been able to add 6 new police officers, downtown maintenance crews back. So we've been really cautious with what we do because we don't know how this is going to go over the next 5 or 6 months, but we've been able to add things back in as well. So those are some of the things I'm really glad to see. And I'm just glad to see all the work that's gone in. I'm our liaison to all the tourism organizations, and we'll be chairing the CVB. All the new flights that have been brought in, a great job by our tourism organizations and our airport leadership to have Southwest and JetBlue and so many more flights, which will benefit all of our residents because it'll bring down fares and provide more places for people to go.
What do you think 2021 will be like for the city of Palm Springs, and what will be the biggest challenges facing the city?
I think the biggest challenges as we go into the new year are going to still be tied to COVID, the economic impact, the businesses that have been struggling to pay their rent and are behind on rent, residences who need more rental assistance. As much has been given out, they need more. And with no new stimulus coming from the federal government, it appears this year, we really are going to see some people struggling. So I think that's going to be the big challenge, that we have to get through this. There's good reason to be hopeful that by June and July, everyone will have an opportunity to take a vaccine. We have to get from now to then. And as the cases are surging, we need everyone to, hang in there. It's hard. It's hard for all of us. It's hard for me. Not seeing friends and family. It's a real challenge. But we know there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And so getting through those months and keeping our economy growing. We need to continue. We're seeing new businesses open up even during the pandemic and making sure we have the resources for that. We're seeing a lot of new housing starts and new construction on housing, which is desperately needed. And we have 3 new affordable housing projects that are hopefully going to get going in Palm Springs. And that's very much needed. So those are the kind of things I'm going to be focused on. And, one of the initiatives I wanted to get started this year was really making it Palm Springs a model healthy city and really working on some health initiatives and bike paths and walkability and community gardens. And I really want to get to focus on that next year because we have great parks and great activities, but let's do things so people can be healthy and enjoy the beautiful outdoors that we have here in Palm Springs.
All right, Geoff, as always, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Peter.